Get comfortable with English in comfort. This is your English listening practice podcast to help you learn and improve naturally.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English in Comfort. I'm Anna.
And I'm Mark.
Mark, before we start, what are you doing right now?
Me? I'm just opening my water bottle. Why?
I noticed something funny. Every time we sit down here, you do the exact same thing. You sit down, you adjust your headphone, and then you open your water bottle.
Really? I didn't even notice. I just did it without thinking.
Exactly. You did it without thinking. It was automatic.
That is true. My hands just moved on their own.
And that, Mark, is exactly what we are talking about today. We are talking about that invisible force that controls so much of our day. We are talking about habits.
The power of habit. It is a huge topic because, believe it or not, about 40% of what we do every day is not a decision. It is just a habit.
40% is a scary number, don't you think? So, with that being said, we are going to explore what habits are, how they work, and how we can change them without going crazy.
I really need this episode because I have some bad habits I really want to get rid of.
Well, we're going to get into that, but before that, we have to understand what exactly is a habit, right? So, a habit is a behavior, an action, that you repeat so often that it becomes automatic.
Automatic is the key word there. It means you don't use your brain power to do it.
Think about brushing your teeth in the morning. Do you stand there and think, okay, now I will pick up the brush. Now I will put on the toothpaste?
No, I am usually half asleep. I just do it while I am thinking about breakfast or looking for my socks.
Exactly. That is a habit. Your brain knows the pattern, so it just does it.
We have so many of these. Morning habits, food habits, work habits.
Even the way you put on your shoes is a habit. You probably always put the right shoe on first, or maybe the left one.
I actually have to think about that. I think I do the left one first.
See? You never decided to do that. You just started doing it one day, and now it is your rule.
It is fascinating. Our life is basically a collection of these tiny little automatic actions.
And it's not just physical things. Driving is a big one. Have you ever driven home and realized you don't remember the drive?
Oh, all the time. I call it zombie mode. My body drives the car, but my mind is thinking about dinner.
That is the ultimate habit. Your brain is so good at it that you can do it while thinking about something else. But how do they start? We aren't born with these habits, right?
No, habits are formed through repetition. We call this the habit loop.
Keep it simple for us, Mark. What is the loop?
It has 3 parts. First, there is a trigger. This is the thing that starts the habit.
Like feeling tired?
Exactly, feeling tired is a trigger. Then comes the second part, the action.
So if I feel tired, I drink coffee. That is the action.
And finally, the third part, the reward.
The reward is that I feel awake. I feel energetic.
Precisely. So your brain learns, tired, then coffee, then awake.
And if I do that every day for a month, my brain stops thinking about it. As soon as I feel tired, my hand reaches for the coffee pot.
The brain is actually very lazy. It loves habits because they save energy.
It's like a shortcut. The brain says, "Oh, I know this situation. I don't need to think. Just run the program."
And triggers can be anything. A time of day, a location, or even an emotion.
Emotions are big triggers. For example, if you feel stressed, maybe you bite your nails.
stress, then bite nails, then feel relief. The loop works perfectly, even if the habit is bad. Now, this shortcut system is great when the habit is good for you.
Right, like exercising. If you have a habit of going for a run every morning, that is fantastic. You don't have to fight with yourself to do it. You just go.
Or reading before bed. That is a great habit. It helps you sleep.
But, unfortunately, the system also works for bad habits. The brain doesn't know the difference between good and bad. It just knows easy and rewarding. Let's talk about some common bad habits. I think snacking is a big one.
Oh, guilty. For me, the trigger is watching TV. As soon as I sit on the sofa to watch a movie, I want chips.
Even if you aren't hungry,
I am usually not hungry, but the habit is TV, then eat chips, then feel good.
another bad habit is scrolling on our phones.
That is the big one for our generation. You feel a little bit bored. That is the trigger. So you pick up your phone.
And 2 hours later, you are still looking at cat videos.
And you feel terrible. But you do it again the next day because the reward, the entertainment, is instant.
So, I want to introduce a new idea here. We talked about triggers, but did you know that your environment is the biggest trigger of all?
Our environment? You mean like my house? Or my office?
Exactly. Your room talks to you.
That sounds a little crazy.
I mean, the objects in your room tell you what to do. If you walk into your living room and the TV is the biggest thing there, what does the room say?
It says, "Watch me."
If there is a bowl of candy on your desk, what does the desk say?
It says, "Eat me."
And if you want to play the guitar, but the guitar is hidden in the closet,
Then I probably won't play it. 'Cause I don't see it.
this is a huge secret for changing habits. If you want to change your habits, change your room.
So if I want to eat healthy, I should put apples on the table, not cookies.
Yes, make the good habit visible and hide the bad habit.
That is actually a very interesting and practical advice. I never thought about that.
This is why habits are so powerful, Mark. They shape our identity. You know, there is a famous quote that says, "We are what we repeatedly do."
I like that. So if I run every day, I am a runner.
That's right. If you write every day, you are a writer. Your habits are like the building blocks of your personality.
It is powerful, but it is also a little bit frightening. Because if I eat junk food every day,
Then you are becoming an unhealthy person. One burger doesn't make you unhealthy, but a habit of burgers does.
it is the compound effect. Small things done over a long time become big things.
That is the power. A habit is like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but it gets bigger and faster and faster.
Let's say I want to start a new habit. I want to exercise. But I always forget.
Forgetting is the number one problem. But there is a trick for this. It is called habit stacking.
Habit stacking? Like stacking boxes?
Yes, you stack a new habit on top of an old habit.
How does that work?
Well, tell me a habit you already do every single morning. Something you never forget.
I make coffee every morning, 100%.
Okay, so making coffee is your strong habit. You use that as the trigger for the new habit.
So I say, after I make coffee, I will exercise.
Exactly. You link them together. Coffee, then exercise.
That is clever. Because I never forget the coffee, so now the coffee reminds me to exercise.
Right? It is like a chain reaction. You can do this with anything. After I brush my teeth, I will floss one tooth.
After I take off my work shoes, I will put on my gym shoes.
Yes, that is habit stacking. It is the easiest way to stick to a new routine.
So, if we know this, why is it so hard to change?
Oh, it is incredibly difficult. We have all tried to break a bad habit and failed.
I tried to stop biting my nails for years. It was impossible.
The problem is that the habit is a physical path in your brain. It is like a deep river. The water wants to flow that way.
So, when you try to stop, you are fighting against your own brain.
That's right. You have to build a new path, but the old path is still there.
And usually we try to change everything at once. We get motivated and say, I will never eat sugar again.
And that lasts for, what, 3 days?
If I am lucky, 3 days. Then I get stressed and I eat a whole cake.
Because willpower runs out. You cannot fight your brain 24 hours a day. You get tired.
So if willpower doesn't work and big changes don't work, what does work? How do we actually change?
The secret, Mark, is to think small, tiny, microscopic. If you want to start a reading habit, don't say, I will read a book a week. Say, for example, I will read 1 page a day.
1 page is too easy. That will only take 2 minutes.
That is the point. It has to be so easy that you cannot say no.
I see, so you are tricking your brain.
You are building the pattern. You are showing up. Once you start reading 1 page, you will probably read 5, but the goal is just 1.
So for my exercise habit, instead of I will run 5 kilometers, I should say I will put on my running shoes.
Yes, just put on the shoes. That is the victory.
I really like that approach. It feels much less stressful.
We call these atomic habits, small things that blow up into big results.
And what about breaking bad habits? Like my chips and TV problem?
For bad habits, you need to make it hard. Right now, the chips are probably in the kitchen, easy to reach.
They're sitting right on the counter.
Put them in a high cupboard, or better yet, don't buy them. If you have to get in your car and drive to the store to get chips, you probably won't do it.
That is true. I am too lazy for that.
So, make good habits easy and make bad habits hard.
But what happens when we mess up? Because we will mess up.
This is the most important part. You must be kind to yourself.
I tend to be very hard on myself. If I miss 1 day of my routine, I feel like a failure. I say, oh well, I ruined it. I might as well quit.
We call that the all or nothing mentality.
So what should I do instead?
Just get back on track. Missing 1 day is not a failure. It is just life.
So don't beat yourself up.
Never. Guilt doesn't help you build habits. Patience helps.
I like the rule. Never miss twice.
I love that.
It means, okay, maybe I missed my walk on Monday. That's fine. But I must make sure I walk on Tuesday.
1 mistake is just a mistake. 2 mistakes is the start of a new pattern.
That is a great way to look at it.
Okay, everyone, that was a deep conversation. But before we go, as usual, let's look at the specific language we use to talk about habits.
Yes. If you want to talk about this topic in English, here are the essential words and phrases.
First, we talked about the trigger.
A trigger is the signal that starts the habit. It could be a time of day, a feeling, or a place. My trigger for coffee is waking up.
We also used a great phrasal verb, stick to.
This is very important. To stick to something means to continue doing it. even when it is hard.
For example, it is hard to stick to a diet, or I want to stick to my plan.
Think of a sticker or glue. It stays attached. You want to stay attached to your habit.
Next, we talked about habit stacking.
Habit stacking is when you add a new habit on top of an old one. After coffee, I exercise.
And what about when you want to stop a habit?
We say break a habit. You don't destroy or stop a habit usually, you break it. Like breaking a chain.
And finally, we talked about routine.
A routine is a sequence of habits you do regularly, like your morning routine or your bedtime routine.
So those are your words: trigger, stick to, habit stacking, break a habit, and routine.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode, The Power of Habit.
We hope this helps you understand why you do what you do.
And maybe it gave you some ideas on how to build some new, healthy habits for yourself.
Remember, start small. 1 page, 1 push-up, 1 glass of water.
And don't worry about failing sometimes. Just focus on being consistent and try to stick to it.
Now we want to hear from you. We are very curious about your habits.
Tell us in the comments. What is one good habit you want to start?
Or tell us about a bad habit you are trying to break. We can support each other.
Writing it down is the first step to making it real.
Thank you so much for listening today. We love this community.
Keep practicing, keep improving, and take care, everyone.